It's time for the latest edition of Delivering Marketing Joy. This time I talk with Charles Duggan from Goldstar, and he talks about having fun at work and being an Ironman. Hey there, and welcome to another edition of Delivering Marketing Joy. I am your host, Kirby Hasseman, and joining me today is a first-time guest, but a long-time friend, and I'm really excited to have Charles Duggan II, MAS. He's the National and Strategic Account Manager for Goldstar. Charles, thanks for taking the time, man.
Hey, Kirby. Great to be here today, and you're coming live from what I like to call is the winter workout room.
Oh, I love it.
Even though we're in the summertime.
Yeah, we're going to dig into that. I love it. So I wanted to jump right into Goldstar, though. I think most of us in the industry have noticed sort of the gang at Goldstar. You've done some fun marketing to stand out in the industry, obviously on purpose. So why do you think that sort of marketing sort of resonates with us?
Well, you look at it like from the team approach of us out in the sales. We love to have fun, right? And everybody likes to have fun. And the good part is we have a great culture at Goldstar. We're in the process of building the greatest pen company in the world, right? And Howard has done a great job of letting us in the field basically have fun selling pens, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, that's what we're selling. So, we have our whole simplicity that keeps it simple for distributors out there and everything. But, when you all boil it down to it, what we're doing is trying to help you be successful selling our product line to your clients. And what are the benefits of what we offer regarding decoration and everything? I think that's what sets us apart. And when we come together in a team effort, it's one of those that we love to have fun.
Yeah.
And so you see that manifest itself in many different ways.
Yeah. Well, and again, I think you're right. I think we all want to have fun, but yet then we go and we put sort of our business things on and we move away from that. So I like the way that you guys have focused on just kind of showing your personality. So speaking of that, I think of you guys have done, car pen karaoke. You've done crazy fun suits at trade shows. And just several different fun things when it comes to promoting the brand. I'm curious, what's your favorite thing you get to do and why?
Oh, my the adding the fun factor to it. So it's the different side of me that comes out and it's alive. I think it's in every one of us, and it comes out in different ways. So I'll give you the first example is when our team comes together in Vegas. On usually the first day of the show, we have our suits, right? Mm-hmm. And everybody can choose whatever suit fits their personality. Nice. And last year I was Jungle Juice, so it was kind of like a real wild suit. But the walk we go from the Luxor over to the Mandalay Bay.
Yep. And
I tell you what, we put more smiles on people's faces during that walk over. And then also during the show, people come from all over to come get their picture taken with us. And it is such a great feeling, and it's great for the whole entire team. And it just lets you know at Goldstar, we have great products and we have great service and everything. But then we add the personal fun side of things. And who said fun isn't hard, right?
Yeah.
That's all part of it is the fun and working hard and playing hard. And again, with Howard, our general manager, setting the corporate culture of that. With Goldstar, there's no silos. Everybody, we all work for the common mission, and it's to build Goldstar into the greatest pen company in the world. That's what got me, and that's where I love it. It brings out the silly side, the silly fun side of me, and a lot of people don't necessarily see it. And it's over the years, people said, well, 26 years ago, you were so serious, and now you're doing all these wacky kind of fun stuff. But what we do is try to brighten somebody's day every day. And we do that along with a fun way of selling our product.
Yeah, it's funny. I remember our accounts receivable person came into my team, and she's amazing. But one day she was stressing pretty hard about something, and I was like, I was like, Libby, nobody's going to die on the table here. Like, what we do should be fun. And I think we do lose sight of that, and I love that you guys don't. So the one thing I did want to dig into is outside of business, if that's okay.
Sure. I want to make one more comment on what you had said is, this is where in the promotional products field, I think we fall short as an industry, right? Is because with our products, we have our products touches all senses, right? And the medium, and I think we really fall short of being able to carry that message to everybody out there in the world, really. Yeah. And we utilize promotional products in different ways as a supplier, right? We utilize it to make somebody's day. I mean, in the line at an airport, I've flown most of my 2 million air miles up in first class. I've given a pen out and got an upgrade to a convertible Jaguar. It just shows you the power of promotional products. And I think as an industry, we got to do a better job of adding the fun factor in.
Yeah, I totally buy what you're saying there, Charles. That's a great point. And you're right. It is amazing when you hand like a flight attendant or somebody a pen, the response is kind of over the top, and we get jaded, right? Because we see it all the time.
Yeah, Kirby, we are very jaded because we deal with it day in and day out. Yeah. You forget about the simple power of a promotional product, right? Yeah. And when you give it to somebody, what do they say? Oh, thank you. It's like they've never gotten anything before. So it's kind of like you're living a holiday every day and just seeing it. I love that. That drives me, and it's fun. It's actually a fun factor.
I love that. That's totally true. And so one of the things I've seen about you, because obviously we are Facebook friends, and I got to see that you've done several triathlons, and I always say like real lengths. Like I've done triathlons that are sprints, right? The shorter ones, and I felt pretty good about that. But you've done some real lengths, some sort of Ironman lengths. So tell me how you got involved in doing those, and I guess how do you find time to train, man?
All right, so that's a pretty awesome question, in itself. How it all started was, when I was 32, my dad had a stroke, and he went from being retired 3 years to us taking care of him. During that year, my boys went to go live with their mom in Iceland. And then at the same time, that fall, my mom dropped dead of a massive heart attack.
Oh, gosh.
So, a lot of life stressors in that. And I had been traveling, and, on the road's a tough thing. I just put on weight, and I was probably 50 pounds overweight, couldn't walk a mile. And my sister and I got this pamphlet from the American Stroke Association that said, having a stroke is a life-changing event, and so is running a marathon. And that was the light bulb that went off in my head. And the funny thing was, I went back to my bookshelf. When I was 17, I bought a book. And let's see here. It's How to Run a Marathon, right?
Okay.
And I had that on my shelf. Never thought it possible that I ever could, right? And so my sister and I signed up for to run a marathon over in Hawaii. She had to personally raise $4,500. So kudos out to my sister for being the first one to encourage me and be part of that journey. So long and the short of it, we ran that marathon over in Hawaii. And since then, I've been going full steam ahead, going into triathlons, sprint triathlons, quarter Ironmans, half Ironmans. I've raced over 135 races.
Wow.
With like 20 marathons underneath my belt, 9 Ironmans, 9 halves. It's one of those that ignites me.
Oh,
and that's like it's like we, as an adult, we forget about playing. Like, you remember as a kid, you got out every day. I mean, my mom would say, "I'll get out the door and don't come back until dinner," right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And we played all day. We rode our bikes, we ran, we tried to pick up different things. And as an adult, we kind of forget that play, it can be an intricate part of who you are. And I'm so glad that I've been able to really tap back into that.
Yeah, and I will tell you, again, I've only done a few triathlons, but I find that it is one of the coolest environments when it comes to sports and sort of competition. The people who do that are I've found them to be really, really cool. and supportive. So kudos, man. That's amazing.
Yeah, yeah, great. And you know what? For you, sprint triathlon is an accomplishment in itself. So what I love is I love inspiring other people. Whether if it's their first 5K to get out there, I'll help them. I'll help them with the schedule. I had a friend of mine that said, "Hey, I'm training. I'm going from a couch potato to the 5K, right? Plan." And I'm like, he goes, "Can you give me some pointers?" And I'm like, "Sure, that's awesome. First of all, it's just starting, right?"
Yes.
And once you get out there and you catch the bug, that can lead into other things. And just for me, I just kind of live on the another plane from the standpoint of just amping up the the intensity and amping up the distance. I love the going long, and I love going out there and competing in that type of thing. Yeah. So Kirby, you asked the question about time.
Right. Mm-hmm.
We all have the same amount of time. Right. And so no matter if you're an elite Ironman, all the way down to a salesman, mother, father, everything, we all have the same amount of time. And so when you're training for a race, you just have to schedule. Do you get up a half an hour earlier? Or do you get up an hour earlier? And then or what do you cut out? What's your waste time, right? And if you really look at your day, you have a lot of waste time in there, whether if it's you're watching TV at night for a couple hours. I mean, that could be put into time of doing something in the physical realm. I think we all have the same amount of time. It's how we prioritize our time. And really, at the end of the day, it's what's important to us.
Yeah. It's funny you say that. I always say that, you can tell what people really value by what they spend their money and their time on. And that's great advice. So cool, man. You've answered my 3 questions. I give everybody a chance to ask me one question. Do you have one for me?
Yes, I sure do. So I've loved your new start and stop.
Oh, thanks.
And series. So tell us, how did that get started and why and what's fueled that and what's your passion behind that?
It goes back to what you just said. Because of the amount of content that I create and some of the businesses I run, people are constantly asking me, how do you get it done? And so I created a presentation where I just talked about how do you get more done, right? And so I created this presentation. I've given it. I actually have started on a book about it as well. And I was trying to figure out how to translate that into some video content. And I was like, well, I could do a different tip every day. And then, in brainstorming it with the team, they kind of came back and said, look, what if you did one thing because I do that within the presentation. I give people things they need to start doing and things they need to stop doing. And we thought, well, if we packaged one each time, each episode, that would be digestible enough that you could implement it. And it's what's funny about it is, and I'm sure you can appreciate this, Charles, like I really like that series, and I've gotten a ton of engagement, but not that many views. And I think that's always interesting to see that, to go, the people who like it really like it. And then, you just understand that you're not creating every piece of content for everybody. The feedback's been good on that one. And hopefully it helps people try to get more stuff done in their day.
Definitely. No, I think I always like listening to it because it's like, okay, what is something that I'm going to potentially throw in? I'm starting something new, right?
Yeah.
And the other one is like, what am I going to, I think your last one was stop complaining.
Yeah.
And I'm like, love it. I wish you could like send that to certain people.
Yes.
And just, it's like, because what's that going to do? And when I heard that reminded me of the Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Yeah, that's a great book.
And don't criticize, condemn, or complain. So that really sunk in on that. So
thanks, buddy. Thank you so much. Hey, I appreciate you making the time for me here today, and we'll have to do it again sometime, okay?
Nice. Always open, Kirby. Hey, thank you so much.
You bet. Well, that's going to wrap up this edition of Delivering Marketing Joy. We'll see you next time.